This is really cool. I like the spoon.
You like the spoon?
I'm blown away.
The spoon.
I feel
Not the cow.
I feel like I'm like blown away by everything. What, can I put the spoon here?
Put it in the
Oh,
cow.
put it in the cat. I love that.
Because, I mean, you know.
Moo.
Moo.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most interesting start to a podcast I've ever seen.
Oh, we're recording?
Yeah.
Cool. I like that.
We've been recording.
Oh, shit.
Well, Meredith Casey, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Getting here, let's call it moderately on time.
You know, 15 minutes, actually 11 minutes is not bad for Los Angeles people.
I was going to say, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's within the respective. After 15 minutes, not acceptable.
You know, the other day, I wasted a late. Have you ever done this?
A late?
Called my buddy, supposed to meet my buddy, and I was like, hey man, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. And he was like, oh dude, I'm going to be like 25 minutes late. And I was like, I shouldn't have even told him. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't need to tell him.
Right, he was going to be late.
He was going to be late, and he would have never known that I was late. And then I would have been able to get the, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then I would have been able to be like, don't worry about it, I'm cool.
You wasted it big time.
And then I was actually on time.
That's like a double waste.
I ended up being on time, yeah. So when he came, I told him, I go, just so you know, I was on time. He was like, all right.
He's like, I don't care. You already told me you're late. And I already lost
yeah, respect.
all respect for you.
Right. I said, I want the late back.
Did you get it back?
He wouldn't give it back to me.
Typical. Being late is, I think 15 minutes is the dead. After that, you're dead to me.
Shit, I was 4 minutes away from being dead to you.
Pretty much. I kind of want to get to the point where after 15 minutes, I leave.
Your own house? What if you just left your own house?
Yeah, no, I would go get
like,
a coffee and be like, sorry, you missed it.
You got to do that. That's fucking respect.
But I don't know if I ever, just like the person that you think you want to be, as abrasive as you think you want to be, and then you can't really act like that.
I mean, you could.
You could
act however you want to. You know?
There's some repercussions for acting that way.
Yeah.
Like if I left, let's say you were 4 more minutes late.
That's big dick energy, I think.
It definitely is.
As the kids say.
the children.
As the children say.
I don't think the children say that, actually.
As the children say, that's big dick energy.
Yeah. So if I left, how would you feel? You show up.
I showed up and you weren't here, and I called you and I was like, hey man, I'm outside. You're like, oh man, I left. You were 15 minutes late. I'd be like...
No, because I wouldn't say it. I'd say, oh, sorry, you were late. I had to go.
I'd say...
I wouldn't tell you my time frame.
Yeah, don't say the time frame.
Yeah.
Because then I can argue the time frame.
Because then you're like...
I think I would probably be taken aback.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, if this just happened. Taken aback, I'd be angry. And then I'd be like, wait, no, I was late. I think you'd go through the 7 stages of
alcoholism?
Yeah, of alcoholism. I would get angry, I'd accept it, and I'd be like, yeah.
My fault.
I'd let it go back. Yeah, my fault. And I'd let it go back.
But then how would that impact our relationship going forward?
Anytime you were late, I would say something.
Oh, if I was ever late. If I was 30 seconds late, it'd be the end. I would never hear it.
I think I would have respect for you. I'd still chill with you. I'd still love you because I love you. But yeah, I would just be like, I'm just going to keep an eye
on this.
On his time, yeah.
I think...
And I try to get you back subtly, coolly, you know, in a nice way. I'm not going to be a bitch about it, but I'd wait for my opportunity.
I feel that people who are late are the most intolerant of other late people. I have a few very late people in my life, and when you're late for them, it's like the end of the world. Mm-hmm. Like when you're like, okay, they're always 30 minutes late. Yeah. I'm going to show up 45 minutes late. Yeah. And they get there 5 minutes before you. It's like...
Oh, and they get upset at you?
So upset.
Even though they're the late?
Yes.
They don't have a right.
They don't have a right.
They don't have a right.
But they do it because they have the BDE.
Oh, yeah.
Late people have it.
Yeah, late people have big dick energy.
Because it's like they're more important. They're basically saying, I'm more important than you. Yeah. Being late is I'm more important than you.
They walk slower, so they're later because they have a big dick.
That could be it. I don't think it's as physical as mental.
It's more mental, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's more mental.
Energy.
Right. Energy, exactly.
Yeah.
The physical, maybe. But...
Women need one. We need like a fat clit energy or something.
Yeah. Someone has a bit about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Too late.
Damn it.
And so you just started working at the Improv? Mm-hmm. The world famous Hollywood Improv?
Yeah. Serving.
So how do you like it?
It's brutal. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
Like I love the Improv. I love the people I work with, but waiting tables in this town is brutal because people are incredibly entitled, incredibly rude. Tipping, some people don't tip.
Don't tip?
Some people do not tip.
Do not tip. Are you kidding me?
They write in $0. My favorite is when they do the 0 with the slash.
That's like I'm letting you know I'm giving you 0.
Dude, and the service is great. All the waitresses that I work with, I'm just going to take my keys out of my pocket. All the waitresses I work with rock. Like, we're all really nice, and we like, but people, they sit down and they just want their drinks right away,
Yeah.
And they want their drinks right away. They want their food right away. They don't want to wait. It better be perfect. If it's not perfect, you're not getting a tip. I have how like in Israel, they make everybody serve in the military for a year.
Okay.
I think in America,
I was like,
they should
that
make
was like the one
everybody-
Israel fact I know. I was like, I was like, well, I have no.
It's the only one I know.
Okay, cool.
I think we should make just like in Israel, we should make everybody serve tables for a year.
I love that.
Right? Everybody should work in a restaurant
Or
for 1 year.
You could be a busboy
or a busboy
or
in the
dish.
service industry.
Yes, for 1 year.
For 1 year. So you know how to act when you sit at a table. You know how to fucking behave. Be kind. For me not to tip, I will always tip 20%, even if it's the shittiest. Even if somebody took a shit on my plate and gave it to me, I'd be like, well, it's still, I wouldn't eat it, but I'd tip.
It's kind of like a tax. 20%'s the min.
I'm always going to do 20.
Yeah.
Always. And I don't understand when
So have you
people
never
don't.
not tipped?
I've always tipped. I've never not tipped.
Have you always tipped Uber?
I tip Uber, but poorly, like $1 or $2.
But that, depends on how long the ride is. Because they give you $1, $2, $3, right?
Yeah, I'll do $5 if it's like to LAX or something.
Yeah, that's like on the,
Yeah.
So you're a strong tipper. Well, you kind of have
strong
to be.
tipper because I worked for tips. When you
Yeah.
work for tips, you know what it means to get a good tip.
Yeah, it's important.
I wasn't. So I was at the Improv and I was doing a cold open. I wasn't even serving.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about me that just has this energy of tell me what you I'll serve you. I wasn't in uniform. I was just in regular clothes about to go on stage. And this woman, she comes up to me and she goes, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that my spicy margarita is too spicy and I'd like to order a different drink. I was like, cool.
Were you working that night?
No, dude. I was a comic.
Did you wearing an improv shirt?
No.
Whoa.
And I go, oh, okay.
Maybe she's a regular and she recognized you.
Maybe. But wait at your table for your waitress to come around.
Is that the verbiage? Like, hey, I'd like to let you know my spicy margarita is too spicy. I'd like to order another drink.
Yeah. But that's all great. But she walked up to me to tell me that as I was about to go on stage. I want to be like, just sit at your table and wait for your waitress.
Isn't this like post-pandemic? Just accept what you get and deal with it?
That's how I feel about everything in my life.
Or is everything more entitled now?
I think people are more entitled now, oddly enough. But I also feel like everyone's kind of dead inside from this. But I love that what you just said of post-pandemic energy is you get what you get and you don't get upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I complain way less. I wasn't a big complainer, but it has to be pretty egregious for me to be like, hey. And I would never say my spicy margarita is too spicy. I'd like another drink.
I'd drink it down.
I'd be like,
chug it
hey,
down.
this is sometimes you get something cooked and it's just not cooked or something. You're like, look, it's just food safety. This just isn't cooked through. Could you do something about it? That's kind of as far as I go.
won't even do that.
But if I don't like it.
Yeah. If I don't like it, I'll choke it down or I won't eat it.
Don't eat it.
I agree.
Yeah. Are you required to like your order? I don't think so.
I don't think so. That's not that's not fine print. How's that the restaurant's problem?
Right, if you remember McDonald's as a kid, they'd be like, today we have the California burger. And you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. And they just take parts from different McDonald's sandwiches and make a new one. And you're like, okay, it's Big Mac with this Filet-O-Fish sauce.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, California burger. And you try it. If you don't like it, you're like, oh, I won't get that again.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the end.
That's it. I don't write a review. I don't tell anyone. I keep my mouth shut. I just,
This review culture,
hold on, I want to write something down. Sorry.
right,
Fuck, I lost it. My brain sucks.
this review culture is just too much.
Yeah.
Have you looked up your Uber rating?
No. I've
Yeah.
never done that.
I have.
What do you have?
It's not good.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
I know. It surprised me too.
Why? Are you...
I let a couple people use it. I know it went down for those because they made the Uber wait. It's like 4.67.
So wait a minute, you know? So you have to wait a minute. What's
Well,
the big
I
deal?
don't know. I mean, they could have been rude.
They
I don't
could have
know.
been rude, yeah.
I feel like it's pretty. If you're using someone else's Uber, it's like let it fly, you know.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, that's totally.
I was with my sister. I was like, I bet your Uber 4.67 is not a good Uber rating.
Yeah.
I was with my sister. I was like, I bet yours is lower than mine, and she's like, I bet it's not. And I was like, hers is 4.64, and she was like,
And
aghast.
that's bad? Because isn't it 5?
Well, I think below 4, I think there's a Curb Your Enthusiasm about this. Below 4, like they won't pick you up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I should check mine.
I think it's high,
I mean, I'm like, excuse me.
and it's not based on your tipping. It's just based on like, who knows what it is.
Tits.
Could be based on tits. I don't know. That's still in the service industry, I'm sure.
I wanted to say something about last thing about serving. A lot of the times people do this thing. Have you ever served? Did you serve?
No, I've done busboy, dishwasher, and kitchen prep.
Good. I respect that wholeheartedly. People do this thing where they'll be like, hey, so I'm in between. They either say, what do you like here? And I hate that question because it's like, it's subjective. You know, what I like, you might not like. I don't know if you don't eat dairy. Like, I don't know what your restrictions are or whatever. But I really don't like when people say, I'm in between the salad and the cheeseburger.
Oh my
Because
God,
it's like,
shoot that person.
It's like, oh, well, you're going to make me, like, really, you're going to make me make this decision for you? Obviously, the cheeseburger's better.
Yeah.
Obviously. So you're putting the responsibility on me that I have to be like,
Get the salad?
get the salad. Like, no, I'm not going to say get the Caesar salad.
Just be like, how in shape do you want to be?
Yeah. I was like, that's more of like a personal question.
That's a lifestyle choice.
That's like a lifestyle
That's
choice.
not a food choice.
Yeah, where it's like, it's just, it is very fun. Like, it's funny working.
That's
the
like saying,
service.
hey, I'm in between the gym and the club. Like, what do you think I should do? I'm like, I don't know. Where's your life at? Right now?
What do you, where's your life at? That's so funny.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I have done that question, and my version of it is, what do you think of this? And sometimes I can tell by their facial expression because they always say yes. Yeah. And I like the ones that are honest. Like, that's not very good. I wouldn't get it.
Yeah, I'm always honest. I always say, I look up, ask me something.
How's the buffalo cauliflower?
I would go more with something else.
Yeah.
Like, I do the, like in the look up.
Yeah. There's a pause. If the pause is too long.
The pause is everything. The pause tells you everything.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's so good, you're like, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, instantly. Let's try it again. How's the cheeseburger?
Oh, it's so good.
See, I want it. I'll do the cheeseburger.
Yeah. That's how you sell stuff. You just kind of have a little orgasm. That's how I do it as a waitress. I'm like, ooh.
Do you have a rating? Can they rate you? No.
No.
They can do a comment card.
The rating is the tip.
Oh, yeah. Your rating is in dollars.
And a lot of times you do great fucking service and people don't tip you because they just don't fucking, I don't know.
But there's like an average check size, right?
Yeah.
Which is probably like 60?
60, I'd say, is like...
So your average tip is...
12.
10 to 12?
10 to 12.
And then you do 10 tables a night?
No, dude, like 50.
50?
Dude, our sections are huge.
50 tables a night? So that's like $500.
Yeah, 50 tables in each section.
500 tips a night?
It could be. One night I made 400.
That's pretty good.
Most nights I make 200 per show.
Okay.
So you could make 400 if there's 2 shows.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I have lost weight though from it, and I like it.
That's good. It's exercise. You're carrying stuff.
You're carrying shit, dude. Walking around,
Yeah. Oh, big stretches without eating too.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Big stretches of no eating.
That's the thing. The work at home vibe has been just eat all the time.
Oh yeah, snacking, grazing.
Yeah, and you're getting all these cold open spots.
Yeah.
That's been great.
I like it.
Yeah.
That room, the Improv rocks.
It's
like
the
that
best.
stage. Have you done it? Have you been on the main stage?
Yes.
How good does it feel when you crush on that stage?
Yeah, it's great.
Because it's like a hug. It's like the laughs. It's the perfect height. it feels like unlike anything else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're back we've been in parks and rooftops and so
exactly.
you're back
That's
into
true.
a club with like 4 walls. You're like, oh my
Dude, it
God.
blew my mind. I almost was like scared. Like I almost wasn't expecting laughter.
Yeah.
And then when I got this big rush of laughter, I was like, oh my, it spooked me a little bit.
Right. Well, it's like the variability of, like I have a weekly workout show at the Kibitz Room, and it can be
cool.
45 people or like 4.
Yeah.
And when you get 4, it's basically you're doing your jokes to yourself, and you're
Right.
like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And then you go back to a club. I went to a club the next day, and I was like, oh, okay, this is so much better.
Yeah, dude.
But it's also nice to have like low stakes, and
I love a low stake show.
yeah,
I love like indie rooms and like alt rooms and just
bars.
Yeah, and just kind of, I like the low stakes because then I don't feel like I need to be perfect. But here's the thing, you never need to be perfect because there's no such thing.
Yeah, but there is when the stakes are super low, you can really just throw like premises out and try stuff and just hear it coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Like
Nerves
I
go
wouldn't
down.
do that. And you get to a certain level, maybe you can do that on like the improv stage,
I wouldn't do it
but
on
I
the
wouldn't
improv.
do that.
Never, dude. Never.
Yeah.
I would never go there with like stuff I'm working out.
Right. So,
Like
I mean,
cold
but people
open?
do. Once you get to...
Right. Once
that
you get
becomes,
to the...
Yeah, our gyms are more like the bar shows, the alt shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then the clubs are like our like important shows. But then at a
Right.
certain point, the theaters become your important shows.
Yeah.
And the club is like your
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting.
I was talking with someone about this. There's 2 places you can be as a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
The club needs you, or you need the club. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no in
Yeah.
between, and it's like a switch. It's like
Yeah.
overnight, they need you more than you need them.
Yeah. That's so true.
And it doesn't mean like there's so many funny people.
Right.
It has nothing to do with funny. It just it really is
Success level.
success level,
Yeah.
fame level, and draw.
Yeah. I've kind of had this like realization of like, there is no there. No matter where you go, there you are. There's no, even people like, who's your favorite comedian?
I mean, Seinfeld's one of them.
Even like Seinfeld is probably like, why didn't I get this? I should be doing that. You know, like there, no matter what level you get
He might be
to,
the one guy who maybe not.
I know, fuck. Even as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, this is wrong.
Let's do somebody else.
Okay. You said Neil Brennan earlier.
Yeah, like
Neil Brennan. You know, he probably does that. Where, you know, like no matter who you are,
Yeah.
you probably...
I think you always like human instinct, when you see someone doing something that you think you could do,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
Like if it's in your lane.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
oh, that's like
Yeah.
where I could be doing that.
Yeah.
But I think if it's outside your lane, or you've just like, you can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few of those comedians.
Yeah, you know, I've realized that there's so much to think about that I kind of don't have the, you know, thinking about draw and like all this stuff is probably helpful but for me, it's like, that makes me, I'm not a good comic when I think about all that stuff. And I think for me, like, I'm really trying to like let go of all of that and just like do it for the fun. Just be like, I do this because it's fun.
Right.
Instead of, because I spent a lot of time sweating comedy, you know, and like, oh, I had a list of things that I needed to get, or else I wasn't a good comic or something.
Don't you
in my
need both
mind.
though?
I think you probably do, but I'm kind of like really
Letting go.
trying to dive. I'm trying to dive in on the other side, and maybe I'll come up for air and I'll be in between.
Well, I mean, Seinfeld does have one of those quotes where he's like, just do the work.
Yeah, right.
It's like everyone's trying to like figure out the angle or this.
Yeah.
Like if you just do the work, everything else comes.
That's how I feel, where it's like, I just want to write. I love writing comedy. You're such a strong writer, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking about one of your jokes that I love on the way over here that was like talking about how your kid might be dead in the next room.
Yeah.
But it's like so late where it's like, well, if he's dead, then I'll just find him in the... I don't want to do your joke to you,
Yeah.
but it's such a good joke.
Oh, thank you.
You're such a strong writer. What's your, like, process?
I have a messy process, and it looks extra messy when I arrive to the venue because I have like a stack of notes.
Yeah.
But like, so I take ideas in the phone.
Uh-huh.
Ideas go on the phone, and then when it's time to write, I take out the notes.
Yeah.
And then I develop the ones on the paper that I'm like, oh, this could be good. Mm-hmm. And I'll do like 2 or 3 at a time. I'm like, nah, I'll switch gears, try this one. And then I'll take those to the stage.
Yeah.
And then if they work, I put them back into the computer in like a big
Oh,
file.
interesting.
So then I have like an active list of like the act, so to speak.
I have a similar kind of system
Let's
where
see it.
like, no, it's like, if I'm like on the go and something pops in, I'll put it in my phone.
Yeah.
Or we always have our notebooks with us. I'll write it down.
I never have mine with me.
Oh, really?
That's why I use the phone.
Yeah. Mine feels very messy to me too. Cause like I kind of in my brain, I'll be like, well, I know I have like a bunch of jokes on my phone that I like and a bunch of jokes on the notebook. And in my brain, I have to put them together in the computer too, where I have like a Pages file that's called like all jokes. And it's just everything organized by topic.
Yeah.
So it's like sex, dating.
That's what I have too.
Motherhood. Yeah. So that I can find it.
I use Scrivener.
Yeah. Oh, Scrivener?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's basically like an app. I can show you after,
Yeah,
but it's like Evernote, but a little bit better because you can rearrange. Evernote's hard to organize stuff in order. It's more search based, but it has like little notebooks. And you can put things in folders. So it's really good.
Okay. Also, you need to show me Evernote because I don't use Evernote.
Don't use it. It's not worth it.
No, you don't like it?
I canceled my Evernote.
Scrivener?
Its only drawback is it's a little sketchy on the syncing. So you got to be careful.
It can sync right to your computer?
It syncs to your phone and your computer.
Oh, cool.
But you can't have them both open at the same time.
Oh.
So you got to be careful there.
Got it.
But yeah, very good. That's been keeping me organized. But also, a lot of it's the will to do it. It's the same will to write out your set list before. It's just,
dude.
It's the will to work.
Yeah, it is.
And like not distracted work, like
focus.
What I do is I put on a movie in the background on silent.
Oh, interesting.
And then it kind of feels like you have a friend there or something's happening, and then you're kind of writing.
I can't have anything on in the background. Sometimes I'll do like really chill music with no
lyrics.
Words.
Yeah, you can't have words.
Yeah.
Words kills it.
Yeah. Well, we should write together sometime.
I'm down. I've never done that.
I've never done it either, but I always really like it. Or I like when you're hanging out.
You've never done it, but you always really like it. Okay.
Okay, what I meant to say is...
interesting.
This is what I meant to say. I've never like sat with somebody and feel like we're going to sit down and write stand-up together. But I have like, when you're out with friends and you're like, they're like, I'm working on this joke. And I love doing that with people. So I've done it in like, not planned, unplanned.
Right. I feel like I'm never prepared enough to go into that.
Oh, really?
Like, maybe that's just me. Like, what do I need to bring to the table to like write together? Just where I'm at? Like nothing?
I kind of think like, I don't know. It's also like kind of one of those things where maybe it's better if you just do it alone. Excuse
me. I'm down to try. Mm-hmm. I've just never had the desire to do that.
Right. Oh, there's some comics that write together. I think it was it Neil Brennan's coming up a lot. That's so funny. It was, that is like the New York class of comics when he came up, like early 2000s class, where they would write together. And I think Sam Morril and Mark Normand and like Joe List write together.
They do on their pod a little bit. Like they have a section where they talk about their bits.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of nice.
Also, when you're getting as many spots as those guys, I mean, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're writing like in between the 8 spots you have every night or whatever it is.
That's so fun.
So fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah. I was thinking about adding a second show to the Kibitz Room called like, just calling it Second Spot.
Yeah.
Because like how many people get second spots? Not that many.
Nobody. Two in one night is wild.
2 in one night is there's a lot of people. It happens, but I would say predominantly it's one. Mm-hmm. One a day is like pretty good.
Yeah.
So to have it like a late show where people could show up after their spot.
Yeah. That's really cool. I like that idea. You should do it.
So I'm going to do it Monday.
Cool.
Let me know if you want to come by.
I'd love to come by. What time?
Let's say it's going to be 10 to 11.
Okay. I actually work on Mondays, but...
First of all, you have your own path now. Mm-hmm. Because you get all the improv spots. Mm-hmm. I don't know how beneficial it is. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Who knows? If you're super fun, it's about building your own audience. Like...
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to anoint you.
No.
But unless you attack it from the inside. Like you're
attack it from the inside. Yeah.
But like the outside penetration in is not going to work.
No, dude, because everybody's outside penetration.
It's like a small funnel. It could work.
It's like a million sperms going after the egg.
Yeah,
I'm already fucking in there.
You're already in the egg. Yeah.
I'm attacking from the inside.
Yes.
That was a plan.
Of course it's a plan. Come on.
Yeah.
And it's working.
It's working. It's definitely working, and I love it. And I love Rita, and I love everybody who works there.
Yeah.
All the managers rock. Love
and now
Rita.
the Comedy Bunker is going to be at the Improv too.
Oh my God. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So June 2nd.
June 2nd. What day is that?
Thursday?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You'll be there.
Is it in the lab?
It's in the lab.
Yeah, cool.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I feel like it's nice to have it under the... I had a show there before the
Yeah.
pandemic, and it's nice to be back.
Yeah. Yeah. Good draw. It's great.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it feels, the percentage of walk-ups versus how much promo you have to do today. I feel like everyone's dying to get out. Like, you go to every restaurant around here, even the ones that were like kind of borderline not great, they're jam-packed.
Yeah.
Everyone's
People
like,
are dying to get out.
They're dying to do anything. They're like, whatever, give me crappy food.
Give me fucking
That's why I'm
anything.
so like blown away by this like anger. Or maybe they're so
Yeah.
pent up, it has to be perfect.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of people who go out to eat, go to comedy clubs. They probably don't have a lot of, not a lot of people, you know, it's obviously like a dichotomy, but like people who go into, some people who go to a restaurant, they don't have power in their lives. There's somebody else's, like they come into a restaurant and they're in charge and we serve them. And they might not live a life where they ever feel that way.
So they get drunk with power?
So I think they kind of get a little like aristocratic-y.
Yeah. Such a horrible way to live. I guess it could be like that Kardashian culture too of like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I bet she doesn't tip. I'd be really surprised if she's a good tipper, to be honest.
I bet. Once you're that Hollywood successful, you
kind of have to or else people talk about it.
But like, not only do you have to tip, but like you over tip.
If I am ever in a position where I'm very successful and I have a lot of money, if I were to go to a restaurant, I would tip the fuck out of my waitress or waiter and I would give everybody else $20. I'd bring a wad of cash and I'd just be like, hey, divide this amongst everybody who works in here. And everybody gets fucking a little bump.
Yeah. There's that scene on Comedians in Cars where Jerry's with, what's that Sex and the City girl's name? Sorry, Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
And the tip comes up. She's like, what do you tip? 20%. He's like, 20%? He's like, I can't tip 20%. And then she looks at the tip. She's like, oh my.
Oh yeah, he tips more.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
he probably tips like 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Because it's a story. And it's show business. Like, that's why you got into it. To
It's
like
show
be
business.
the guy who tip, like, that's part of it.
It's show business. It's a show. You got to put on a show.
You got to put on a show. And like, that's the lifestyle. You know, park your car in the red, get the parking ticket. Like, that's what, that's why you do it.
Yeah.
If you're smart. I
Yeah,
think.
right. Yeah.
'Cause why not? Like,
Yeah.
live it up the way, like a rock star lifestyle.
Yeah.
And for comedians, our rock star lifestyle is like pretty far from the
Small.
actual rock stars.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
tip big and park in the red. Like, that's
Yeah.
about it.
It's not like, well, I guess it used to be like do a bunch of cocaine and fuck a lot of people and, you know, but
I think
it's
that's
not,
over.
I think that's over. I think that died.
That died with, what's his name? Sam Kinison.
I was just, you know what's so funny? I was going to say Sam Kinison. I was like, I think he's going to say Sam Kinison.
Yeah. That's the drugs talking.
I knew it.
So you have a manager
I do. Yeah.
that's been working well for you?
Yeah.
How long have you had them?
I've had her for a couple years now. I do find though that they really can't do much for you. Like, you have to meet them more than halfway.
Oh, yeah.
And constantly, here's a new script, here's a new pilot, here's a new screenplay, here's a new tape, you know, and I feel like I have to be like, I want this.
Yeah. They're like the cleaning person. You still have to have a house. You
Yeah,
still have to have a place to live.
Right,
And they'll come
right.
clean it. Or what? Maybe that's a weird analogy. That
Yeah,
I
and
just
I
came
think
up with.
one
It
of the-
doesn't make sense.
Well,
but-
I got it. I
yeah.
liked it. You have to,
You got something to sell.
yeah, you got to have something to sell.
Yeah. They're salespeople.
They're not Goldilocks. They can't make gold out of straw. Like,
they can grease.
yeah, they can grease whatever, but
They can facilitate.
yeah, I find that but I do have friends who like have great managers that are constantly just kind of like busting the pavement for them. And that would be nice.
But could they be at a, let's call it, further along in their careers than you?
I think yes, and also probably the same.
So they work hard. The manager's better. Sorry, manager. And they're also working harder?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, or I think...
Or they have more going for them?
Yeah, or maybe we're working the same, but I don't know. I mean, it's all fucking everywhere.
It's all just mysteries?
It's all just mysteries.
It's just in the air. It's just stuff. We're gonna sell stuff and buy stuff and be part of stuff. Stuff is the point of this.
You have a manager?
I do not. But your manager like helps you with JFL auditions and stuff like that. And...
I got JFL audition myself.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. That's the thing.
Tell us that story.
So I was at HMS Bounty with Alan Strickland Williams.
Okay. What's HMS Bounty?
Oh, it's a great bar in Koreatown. K-Town? And K-Town's Koreatown, right? No, sorry, I knew that. Woo! You can leave that part in.
Okay. I've never had a request to leave something in. It's all staying in. Leave that in.
Leave that.
That was a good one.
Leave that in. HMS Bounty, great bar. It's like,
Okay.
it looks like a boat when you walk in.
I hope so.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's gorgeous. So I was at that bar sitting with Alan. We were getting a drink, and Jeff Singer like walked through with Laura Keitlinger, and Alan was like, "Oh, hey Jeff," and we all started talking. And then Alan was so nice to be like, "Hey, my friend Meredith's a really funny comic. You should have her on JFL." And he was like, "Okay, yeah, send me your stuff." So I sent him a tape. That's how I got it.
Right place, right time.
Got the audition.
The classic Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, you walk off to Greyhound and you get handed stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get it,
Yeah.
but
you're in the system. It kind of takes a few tries.
But
And
now he's canceled, and now, like, I don't know the new bookers, so now I feel like I have to kind of, like...
That's a good lesson for all of us. It's like you can build time with a booker, but you always got to start again. There's always a new booker. There's always someone new to impress.
Absolutely.
Build to the point where they need you more than you need them.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's it.
Be so good they can't ignore you.
All those classic things are there for a reason.
Yeah, dude. I love Steve Martin's book,
it's on the shelf. I love
Standing Up.
it. Where'd it go?
His
Yeah,
audiobook.
somewhere.
Have you listened to the audiobook?
No, does he do it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's so good.
Who are some of your favorite comics?
Steve Martin's one of my favorites. I love Cat Williams. I love Chappelle, early Chappelle.
Yeah. The bird one? Not the bird. No, what's the first?
Pimp Chronicles?
No.
Oh.
The Chappelle one. Now I'm on DMT.
Killing 'Em Softly?
Killing 'Em Softly.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I like Nikki.
You made me
Gray.
watch the Pimp Chronicles again because I posted how Killing 'Em Softly was the best special of all time.
Oh, yeah, I remember
You're
that.
like, Pimp Chronicles, no. And I was like, okay.
Did you like it?
I did like it. I
Yeah.
have seen it before,
Yeah.
but it was good to watch it again.
Yeah, I find him just insanely brilliant.
Yeah, he's super funny.
He has everything that I love in a comic. Amazing stage presence.
Yeah.
Super funny tight jokes.
Yeah.
Act outs. Callbacks. And he's just fierce. You know, he just... Confidence.
Yeah.
He has such confidence.
Comedy is confidence.
Yeah.
I met him in real life and he was super fun. Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool. Where'd you meet him?
He was recording a rap album
Cool.
and I was recording it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's so cool.
It was cool.
Is he's super short. It's like real.
He's short. He comes in, gives everyone 100, and we still got to work.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
That's showbiz.
Grease palms.
Like, I'd never been greased before. He's like,
Dude.
come here. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? Let's go.
So I do palm grease. I'll grease some palms, but it's like with a $5 bill. You know what? I'm not throwing hundreds.
What are
out
you
there.
doing at Starbucks?
I grease palms. Where did I just recently grease a palm?
Subway?
No, but I've done it like...
Who's taking a 5?
I've done it with like... Oh, man.
Coat check?
No, I mean, I forget where I was, but I
Ralph's?
just remember somebody did a really good job and I just gave him a 5. And it wasn't like a...
Oh, so that's not a grease. That's a tip.
That's a grease.
A grease is like you can't get in.
Right, you got to grease the palm. Right.
Or you walk in.
All right, just a tip.
Grease
then.
is like that scene in Casino where Sharon Stone's giving everyone hundreds when she walks around.
Yeah.
Because they look out for her.
Yeah.
You could be Sharon Stone.
I want to grease some palm. Yeah.
At a restaurant?
Yeah, with the guy, when like the person working on the booth.
The host? Aren't you in the service industry?
You can keep this in here. You can keep that part too.
Yeah, you go up to the host. You're on a hot date. They can't get the table.
Grease the palm.
But we're doing it. We're
Yeah.
in comedy.
Yeah.
We're living the life.
Uh-huh.
You seem happy.
Yeah.
You look left or right?
I look both ways. I
Okay.
look all over.
You did. You like you're crossing the street. You're happy?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Are you happy?
Yeah. And what are your goals for this year?
I think my comedy goals are, I want to get a really good tape
Podcast?
and I want to start putting clips online.
Yes, do it. I just
Yeah.
started. It's the best. Do it.
Yeah, I want to start doing it.
It's not actually not the best, but just do it.
I feel really self-conscious about, I don't like watching myself on stage. I don't like hearing my own voice. So for me, it's like...
Perfect for a podcast.
I know.
You'll get so sick of your voice. You'll be editing and...
Yeah. No, I'm going to pay somebody to fucking do that
No,
shit.
you pay me to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to pay you to do it. But I get really, like, I don't like to... It gives me douche chills. So for me to, like, post something...
What chills?
Douche chills.
What's that?
Like when something's so douchey that you're just like... Ooh,
Oh, okay.
you know?
I never heard
like
that's-
cringe.
Douche. That's the name of your album. Douche
Yeah,
chills.
douche chills. Yeah. What are your comedy goals?
We're not done with yours.
Okay, yeah.
That's it?
So, podcast. I want to tape every set. I want to get a really good set. I want to, I don't know. That's really it. Like when I think like, oh, I guess a late night spot would be nice, but I think like my goals are stuff that I can control, in my control.
Right.
Where it's like, I can personally do the goal of get a good tape. I can cut clips. I can do all that. And actually it's attainable.
Right. And then if you get those other things that are really determined by a third party, then it's bonus.
Yeah.
cake.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good philosophy to have.
Yeah.
Have your goals within your control.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just setting yourself up for failure and sadness. Be like, I didn't get late night. Well, like, okay, but
Yeah.
it's a selection process.
Right.
It's like saying I didn't get that movie. Like,
Yeah.
that can't really be a goal.
Yeah.
Getting better as an actor could be a goal.
Yeah. I think that's a goal of mine
Or
too.
auditioning more
Yeah.
could be a goal. Writing more could be a goal.
I want to take an acting class. That's a goal.
I did it. It was good. I'm glad I did it.
I like acting classes a lot. I love acting. And
You do?
Yeah. And I just want to get better at it.
Didn't you shoot something recently? Like you were doing like a short film or...
I was just in a movie that was out in theaters called The Beta Test. It was fun. But I want to do more. Like I love acting so much. It's so hard.
That's like such a great combination with stand-up.
Yeah.
To be able to do acting and stand-up. Like
Yeah.
if acting is one of the things you want to do, like it's such a perfect marriage.
Yeah. I think that, the harder you work in one, it rises the other one too. Or like a little bit of success here will kind of...
Yeah,
they work
exactly.
hand in hand.
You get on some show that's famous and then you're like, okay, then you get, that's a credit that helps your stand-up. And then it also alleviates financial pressure on the stand-up.
Yeah. Right.
And all self-reinforcing.
Financial pressure on the stand-up.
That's the hardest. Everyone has to have the thing that attaches to stand-up that relieves the financial pressure. And
Right.
it can either be a day job, other job, or it can be writing, acting,
Right.
podcast.
Right.
Podcast has been the one for like the last 10 years.
That's great. Are you able to... It always blows my mind when I hear people make like tons of money on their podcast. From
Yeah,
like,
I'm
damn.
about 40% growth away from being able to monetize it at the
That's
level
great.
I'd like. Yeah.
That's great.
So I had like a really big growth spurt last month.
Cool.
And yeah.
You had some great comics on, I saw.
Yeah, we've had we had Mark Norman, Taylor Tomlinson.
I didn't see Mark. I love Mark Norman.
Yeah, he's so great.
I want to listen to that one.
Jared Guzman.
Oh my God.
Yeah, some pretty big.
I love Taylor. That must have been good too.
Yeah, they were both great. Yeah, they're both great comics, and it's great to
comics.
see them like they were already big 5 years ago, but just to see them go stratospheric.
Oh, dude.
Like the last,
That's a
like
good
Taylor's
movie.
probably one of the biggest comics in the world.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
think so.
Probably top 10.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Mark's just like a joke machine.
He's
so
a
funny.
machine.
Yeah,
He's so insanely funny.
his he should do. I mean, he does so much content, but like I think like a day in the life of Mark would be a very interesting.
Yeah. He
like
does.
BTS.
Yeah.
He's like tweeting. He's doing the pod.
He is doing
2 podcasts, tweeting, touring, like posting.
He's
like,
so good
writing.
at content.
Yeah.
Does he do it himself or does he have an assistant?
I think he has people who do it with him.
Cut his clips and stuff?
I would imagine so. I can't imagine he has the time to do all that. Yeah.
I'm burping and I don't know if it's picking it up.
It might. It's
Sorry.
sensitive.
I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry for the burps.
Sorry for the burps.
Yeah,
They
that's your
tasted
sophomore
good.
album.
Yeah, sorry for the burps.
Well, tell us where to find you.
You can find me on Instagram at MurderDeathCasey. I'm not on Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter for years.
I know. I've tried to tag you in posts before.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that. I got off that shit years ago.
Yeah. Oh, before you go, tell us about the podcast, because you submitted it to a very famous podcaster network.
Yeah, I submitted to Hoo Ha Ha. I produced. Which
is whose network?
Elizabeth Banks.
Okay.
Thank you. You're good at this. And it's a podcast. It's called This Again, and it's a podcast where comedians talk about the shows that their kids are obsessed with and want to watch over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. And the first episode we did with Lennon Parham and Betsy Stover, and we talked about Daniel Tiger. I know your kids didn't watch it.
We watched. Yeah. Of course, we watched it.
You did.
I think we found out about it on the tail end. They were just a little too old for it.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like Lennon Parham is so funny. Betsy's so funny.
And one episode is out?
So I have one episode that Hoo Ha Ha produced and they give to you so that you can go out and pitch it. So I have that first episode. But it's so funny because I feel like as parents, like as you watch a show made for kids, like I'll watch some of this shit with Eamon and I'll just be like, this doesn't make any sense. Or it'll be like the same, like he's really big into like Lion Guard. Okay, yeah. There's tons of them. There's so
much kid content.
So much kid content.
Yeah. And I feel like quality control for it. Sometimes I'm like, this writing sucks. The acting's no good. I'm like, you can do better than this.
Yeah.
But then they're like, no, I like it. I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah, dude. I do the same thing where I'm like, yeah, you're smarter than this. Blippi? Fuck Blippi.
Fuck Blippi. I hate Blippi.
Yeah, you're too smart for this.
Yeah. Blippi was banned. I saw 10 seconds of it. I'm like, never.
Pedophile. There's no way that guy's not fucking... No. You can sniff it out.
All right.
You can leave this in there. I guess you got to cut that too.
It's your third album. You can leave this in there.
Yeah, there are shows where I just shut down. I was like, I don't want this in my brain. Because what they watch is you're watching it too.
And then you're gonna do it. So you have the one episode in the can, and then you're gonna start like doing artwork, releasing that episode, and then putting some episodes in the can so you can have like a weekly. Yeah,
I want to get Bobby Monahan is I love Bobby so much, and he's a friend of mine, and I really want to get Bobby on it. Yeah, he's so funny. He has a daughter, Dottie, who's like, I think she's 3 now or something. But I think there's so many funny comics that are parents. Yeah, like I'm realizing that like as we get older, I'm like, oh, like. Some of my favorite comics are the ones who are parents.
Yeah, all of mine are pretty much.
Yeah. That perspective and
yeah. I mean, I didn't start comedy until I had kids. Like I always knew I wanted to do it, but then like that really gave me like the material.
Oh my God, that's so cool because a lot of people do the other way, where they've been doing it and then they have kids and they kind of taper off.
Oh, interesting.
I love that kids...
Mine was the inverse.
I love that kids inspired you to chase your dream.
I've never done anything in the right order, so...
What is order?
I don't know.
What is the right order?
There's the very militaristic, you do this, you go to school, you get college, get job, get married,
but we're
get
bucking
kids.
Against that because we're comedians.
Yeah.
Comedians buck against that shit, even though I did all those.
Yeah, but did you do them in the right order?
No, I didn't.
Not exactly.
Yeah. I got pregnant. Then I got married.
Right. Yeah. Out of order.
Yeah, out of order, according to the
military-industrial complex.
Yes, according to culture, society.
Well, I think last 5 years, culture's really been upended in terms of like what's right, what you should do. The norms are gone, and everyone's like, I'm doing it the way I want to do it. And you see like the young professionals out, they're like content, they're their own bosses. Like maybe it's a more LA thing, but every time I go out, I'm like, these are all just people like doing their own thing.
Yeah, it's wild. And nobody has a job here. I don't think anybody works here. Because I'll walk by like Mustard Seed, a cafe in Los Feliz where I live. Everybody's out.
Everyone's out.
Everybody's always out. And I'm like, what the fuck do you guys do for a living?
Well, they work at night, or they
work at night.
They're actors, or
I don't think they work at night. I think nobody works.
Well, no one. That's not. How much like people cannot work? Not that many.
I think a lot of people cannot work.
But they're acting and doing other stuff.
Acting and doing other stuff.
Seasonal.
Or they have rich parents or something.
There's not enough rich parents to subsidize a whole city.
There's more than I thought.
Let's call it. I'd be surprised if it surpassed 3%.
Me too.
Of the city.
3%, yeah. Oh,
but we probably see more of it because the people who are subsidized by rich parents are usually in the arts.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So they're bumming around
Yeah.
the arts.
I see a lot of it. We see a lot of it.
But maybe I'm just blind to it. I don't know who is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say anything now.
Right. You've done enough.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
You can leave all this in.
All of it in? Okay. I think the pouring of the coffee was good. That was a good... Mm-hmm. We did a high five. That was...
Oh, yeah, that was
a
good.
Moment.
Use that for the promo.
Yeah, it's going to be like something and then caption.
Yeah. Let's
do it again where we face the camera.
Which camera?
The one over there.
Oh, there's one right there. I didn't even notice that guy. Let's do it again.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
All right.
That was cute.
Well, Meredith, thanks for coming to
This was so fun.
doing
Thanks
the
for
podcast.
having
I'm
me.
excited to hear about your podcast as it comes together.
Yeah.
I think you'll have tons of great guests on it,
Thanks.
talking about comedy and parents
Thank you.
all of your insights into the television shows that have warped our minds.
Yes. Thank you. And we didn't get to your comedy goals.
I mean, people have heard them so much.
Oh, I
that,
see.
Like,
Yeah.
it's, you know,
We'll talk.
I'm here every week.
Yeah.
But maybe on your podcast, when I do it, we
Yeah.
can talk about my goals.
Great. I love
Sound good?
that. Yeah.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. Thanks for coming.